We have our first cabinet mounted! Woo! She's in there, rock solid.
And level.
Okay, now we just have to measure and then put them in as we go.
Well, we have to put the range here first, because you wanted to measure that out.
Well, you said we'd use the measuring tape.
Okay,
So-
well, I would do that, but you wanted to have it in there.
A dry fit? No, it's too much work to move it.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Okay. The other project we got completed today is all these cabinets, although very dusty and need to be wiped off, are mounted. Brent left the doors off the kitchen area because he's got to mount the sink and the drains and stuff, so keep them out of the way. Don't snap off. And then, so everything is mounted. We are ready to put our countertop on. But, so I picked up the countertop about the time I picked up the cabinets last year. And brought the thing up, and we just unpackaged it now. And it's got like a fingernail crack in it. So it's gonna have to get a hold of Home Depot and see if they will honor that, because it's been in its plastic the entire time that we've had it up here, and I just took it off today. Anyways, one more setback as far as our timeline goes. We're gonna be still in our trailer at Christmas time if this keeps up. Anyways, moving on. We're putting in the shiplap. Always wanted a shiplap wall. That was one of the things I maintained. I just didn't know where to put it, so we found a place for it. So we're doing it on this wall between the bathroom and the main living area, and then behind the cabinet above where the tile will go. So that's the beginning of it. Love this part of this. Getting all my little finishes in. Okay, another day at the cabin. Another day at our house. So we got the rest of the kitchen. Well, not the rest. We got the next phase of the upper cabinets done. So, ta-da! We have the microwave and the cabinets installed. And the lower ones are installed. Next step is the pull knobs. We're going to do that this afternoon. And we're going to hopefully fix our countertop and then get that done too. Oh, and we're going to put some flooring down there. And we can put the stove in place while we're waiting for an answer on this countertop. After much ado, I have no idea what I look like. Okay, so I'm going to say that 1/3 of our kitchen is complete. Less some tiling that has to happen, but we'll do that another time. So, da-da-da-da! The upper cabinets and the microwave are in. The lower cabinet and the stove is in. All the other lower cabinets are in, but the counter is not attached. We have to do some adjustments to our counter, and we need to put the sink in. So really not a lot to do, but it's kind of technical stuff. And I want to show you something really cool. So this was not on our other microwave. There's a thing that says push here. And what it does is when you turn your fan on, air gets sucked up here and over here. Isn't that so cool? Anyways, at first I thought it was like a little tray that you could rest heavy things when you took them out of the microwave. But no, that's not what it's for. Anyways, our old microwave in our house 5 years ago, we moved into it in 2014. So technology keeps changing. And there is a Wi-Fi setting for your microwave. Not sure how that works. Haven't read the book yet, but we'll do that, and we'll get back to you on that situation. So yeah, and just to show you, see if I can do this with a camera and holding a thing as a tile. This tile is going to go up on the wall all the way around, and then we might have to do a few tricks to get it around up and over the corner of the thing. So this is kinda how it'll sit. I got all the stuff for the venting still. So up and around the corner, but you know, we'll have to consult some professionals to see how we can make that look nice. It seemed to work in, I guess, theory, but there's some technical stuff that needs to happen there. And like I've said before, I'm not a professional tiler, so we'll have to figure that out. Okay, that's all for today.
So here we are in the cabin again. And this is the exhaust ventilation for the stove and cook range, however you want to say it. We've got the range in place, we've got the microwave that has the fan in it, and then I've cut holes through the cabinetry to go up through the roof, and it goes up and out over the gables, or over the soffit, sorry, my bad. Anyways, the connector I needed was this little guy right here. It has to go 4x10 to a 4-inch round. And that will be sitting just up in this section here, where I've got a solid pipe. That one's just sitting there, so I know what's going to be going there. And it goes up to solid elbows, and then it's, I think about a 2-foot section of flexible solid piping. And then everything after that is solid as well, out through the soffit, over the top of the logs, and then down through the soffit. So the insulation is all sprayed around that, so it's nice and solid. I've got the outside connector already installed. So all I have to do is set this up, tape it up, seal it, and we'll be done that. And I'll show you a test when I get it all complete.
Okay, so back to work. One of the things we had to go pick up was...
I showed them this in another little clip. This was the connector that I couldn't source locally, so I had to pick it up in Kelowna when we went to the Home Depot there. And yeah, that's all we need, and I can finish this off now.
Yay! I'm gonna put this on time lapse.
Well, that was a bit of an ordeal. I got it all finished, as you can see. I'm not sure if the angle on the time lapse was adequate. I had to go upstairs into the loft to change out something as well. I've got the hard pipe all the way up until it gets to that flexible hose right at the very top. There's a flex hose there, and then it goes out and it cuts back a little bit just upstairs. That's only about 18 inches, 20 inches long. That one is a good flexible hose. It's a little more sturdy than the one I had up there, which is this thing here. It's a flexible hose, but it was getting destroyed. It was bending and flexing in the wrong directions. And I want clean airflow as much as possible, for when this thing is venting. I don't want any kinks in the piping at all. That's why I ran probably almost of the roughly 8 or 9 feet of hose. Almost all of it's solid except for that 2-foot extension in the center there. But that one is in good shape. There's no bends, no kinks, no cracks, no nothing like that. Everything's screwed tight. Everything's taped tight. So this is our fan. We'll turn it on. That's on turbo right now. So I'm going to leave it running. I'm going to take you outside to see what the exterior looks like as it comes through the soffit. So inside is on. It's got 4 speeds on that fan. Low, medium, high, and turbo. And this is where it's going to be coming out. And you can see right in the center, it is open a little bit. So when the fan turns off, that centerpiece closes and it makes it airtight. So everything's done. When I install soffits up top here, I'm going to be putting them right up to the rafters all the way along, front to back. And then that piece will get connected as well. So right now it's just hanging there, but it's not really hanging by any straps or anything like that. It's got solid piping, so it is very firmly attached. So we are good. That is one more thing off the checklist. I'll turn it down a little bit, show you. We got, that's low, medium, high, and turbo. So we are good to go. Yeah, I'm real happy with that. It turned out fairly well. And then I've got that extra little piece of piping. It's in okay shape, but I won't be using it for that. And the one I've got for the dryer is all solid pipe. So that's probably going to recycling, or if anybody I know needs a little bit of dryer venting. It's only about 20 inches long, so it's not really a big deal. Oh, and then I've got this small piece, about 9 inches long, of solid piping. So I'll turn the light on in here so you can see that. And then this is what I've got for the dryer venting. It's all solid piping straight through the back gable there, down to the back of the dryer here. And they were solid as a rock.
Well, today we are mounting the countertop. You know how I said in past videos my job is to hold things? Well, I'm holding the countertop with my butt. Sorry, Brendan, don't kick you.
That's right.
And so yeah, I'm the weight that's holding the countertop down while he...
The reason being is I've got a couple of shims on the one end of the countertop, and I have to drill through the mounting plate, through the shim, and into the countertop. And I don't want it to move at all. That's the weight.
Guess I'm a good weight. Clamps?
You started it.
Could clamps have worked, Brent?
No, because there's nowhere to clamp it at the back.
Oh, so that's my body weight is holding the counter down while he screws things in.
Well, hello everyone. The time has come to cut the hole for the butcher block countertop, and that big beast of a sink that goes in that spot. See, the countertop itself is 8 feet long. We've got a 12-inch section here, so this is 7.5 feet, or 7 feet long, sorry, this section here. And it's got about a 5-6 inch overhang. So what I was doing for the past 20 minutes was measuring the front here, the back there, side to side, using as many angling tools as possible. That one's a good 90, so I took the cabinet doors off to measure. So I just basically put this inside here, put it flush on the wall, and that gave me the edge of the inside of the cabinet to here. Anyways, so what I've got here, I've got the countertop cut, measured out. I will be cutting on the inside of all of this tape all the way around. I've got 16 1/4 front to back, 26.5 side to side. Or 26 3/8 if you want to get technical. The gap that I have to drop the sink into is 28.5 inch wide. So I've used some angling iron or angling squares here, put that flush there. That gives me the side of the cabinet, or the side of where the cabinet runs front to back on both sides here. I looked underneath, measured up. There's boards that come out to roughly this point here from the front and this point here from the back. So after I cut the sink out, this is for the faucet, I'm going to have to drill through a tiny little piece of particle board, if you can see it back there. It's not a big deal. It's just a hole saw is going to punch right through it. And yeah, we'll be okay. So the sink is 26 3/8 wide, 16 1/4 deep. That is the dropout section, or the drop through section. So that's how big the hole has to be. This is going to be a really fine cut for me. I've never done this before. I bought an extra sharp carbide tip 60-tooth blade for my skill saw, which is, it's an old Black & Decker, but it's got lots of power. When I did the initial cut to cut off that end piece down there, I used my little DeWalt battery op. It's got lots of power, but for some reason, the last 1/4 inch of the cut, it died. So I'm not taking that chance when I'm doing the center cut here, because this is very important. I went to something with a lot of power. Sure, it's probably easily 30 years old, but I tested it out a few times. I've used it for the past few years. One of my neighbors gave it to me when I was in South Surrey, and it's got lots of gumption. It's a very powerful unit, and with that 60-tooth carbide tip on there, it'll cut like this, cut through this acacia board like butter, hopefully. I'm just going to cut the sides and the back and back front, and then the roughly 2 inches towards each corner. I'm going to use a skill saw for those little fine cuts. I do have a 2x4 sitting underneath, which is basically tucked up against the bottom of the countertop. So when I start cutting out the corners on the jigsaw, it doesn't fall through. So just have to wait for Miriam to get back and she can film me doing this. It's been stressing me out, this cut. I know my son, he used to cut all kinds of countertops for one of his past jobs, and he volunteered to do this cut, but he's not around, and this has to get done. My brother, he's in construction, and he could do this like nothing, I'm sure, because he has a lot more knowledge than I do about construction and woodworking and such. But I'm just doing what I can when I can, and should go okay. Miriam just got back from walking the dogs. I finished taping off the area. It just had a single row of tape around it, and what I've done is I've put 3 rows of 2-inch tape all the way around, or 1.5-inch tape, painter's tape all the way around. So when I'm cutting, I'll be cutting here. If I scratch this part, not a big deal. This part here will still be visible. There's only roughly 3/4 of an inch of the sink will be covering this area here. So this area, I'd like to keep it as nice as possible, same as the back and the sides. So anyway, the center part, I'm going to make a butcher block cutting board out of that, or 2 actually I could probably do, because that is a large chunk of wood. So we're just about ready for the cutting. Miriam's just getting set up, and she's going to come back. She's going to either film this or set it up so I can film in time lapse.
Okay, Brent gave you a little intro. I just walked the dogs. I'm a bit of a mess. Gave you a bit of an intro as to what's going on here. We're going to cut the hole for the sink. It's a little bit scary.
It's a lot bit scary. Because it's a $600 countertop and I don't want to mess it up. So this is the, I guess, template that you're supposed to actually cut out with. So we've got it sized correctly. I'm about 1/16 of an inch off there. Front to back, I am bang on. So my sizing for the hole is good. This gives you a little bit of instruction, and you can go to their website. It's Stylish KB, whatever that stands for.
KB or D?
KB, Kilo Bravo.
Okay.
And you can go to their website for any other instructions, which I've already done. I've read through all of that stuff. So I've talked to a few people, and I'm as confident as I'll ever get. So let's get this done.
All right, I'm gonna put this on time lapse.
Okay.
Because otherwise it's gonna be really noisy. Okay, so I'm not sure if we mentioned it before or not, but the countertop is not just regular butcher block, it's acacia. I think I said that right. So it is a hard wood that comes from Vietnam, and if you could, not sure if the time lapse brings it up, but getting the blade into this wood is super, super challenging. So I just want to show you in real time getting this last cut done. Is how much, I guess, effort you could say? Is it effort, Brent, or is it?
It's a very fine cut. I have to be precise. So
I think I inhaled some of the dust.
welcome to my world. If you can just come over here and make sure it doesn't pop up this way.
Okay.
Just like put your hand towards the middle, and whatever side comes up, just go that way.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. I think we're loose.
Okay. I'm gonna lift it up.
Okay, hang on. Let me put this down. smooth out the edges of that, and we got a nice cutting board of sorts.
Use a router. That one, with that cut, I could just make it a shorter board.
No, it's just a
That's
scratch.
a big cut. That's a big cutting board.
I know.
That's too big. Anyways, so
We only have
This is
about
where I was-
20 cutting boards.
this is where I was fighting with the saw here and right here because the blade was loose. That was an issue.
Where is it catching? On the front there. There's these pieces on the sink which essentially attach the sink to the counter. So this piece here and then these little notches. You got 'em.
This piece is just a reinforcement.
Yeah.
These are where the clips go from underneath to hold it together.
So we need to clear some space for that stuff to get through.
Okay, well the cut is done. As you can see, it is down. When I put it in initially, there was you saw on the front and both sides and the back, there's that I guess it's called a reinforcement thing. I might be able to show you from below. Just this little plate right here. It's just a reinforcement. Oh, Miriam's gonna give me a light. Oh, there we go. A little bit of light helps. So this section here, it's a reinforcement, I'm sure, because that is such a large area of steel to deal with. And on the front, back, both sides, I had to basically take the jigsaw and shave out an extra 1/8 of an inch on this side, or both sides and both front and back. Yeah, that's basically it right there. That had to shave off a little bit just so the sink will fit in. And as I'm putting the sink in, it drops in no problem. But now I can't pull it back out because the little, I guess, openings or clip receptacles that these little guys sit on the side of this sink on both sides and front and back, they are sticking out a little bit further and they were pointing down, so the sink went in, but the sink will not come back out. So I've got a couple pieces of TNG wood that we've got stuck under the sides just to hold the sink up while I pull the tape off. And then I've got some tung oil that I was hoping on pulling the sink back out and retreating. I cannot treat the inside, which is not a big deal. I'm going to be sealing it with silicone all the way around, so that's not an issue. But I was hoping on just having a nice open area to wash the whole thing, clean it all up, and put the tung oil on and let it sit before I attach anything for the sink to get it in there. So right now we just have to pull the tape, clean up the area, and put some tung oil on, wait 24 hours, and then we'll probably mount the sink then, and then I'll give it another coat. I'm supposed to do 3 coats of the tung oil to let it saturate in, let it sink in, and it is food safe. I've got 100% pure tung oil for it. And that's just another thing. Oh, and Miriam has a question. Yes, dear?
Before you do the tung oil, are you going to do the hole for the
Yes,
tap?
I will be drilling the hole for the faucet. That's another project. Well, it's only one hole. I've got the hole saw kit right here. I believe it's just a 2-inch, might be a 2 1/4 inch hole that I have to drill back here. And once that's done, we're good. And then I can hook everything up.
Very thick wood.
Yeah.
Looks a little warm.
That's... yeah. Just got to clean off the teeth a little bit. Well worn. So we're in about an inch, so we've got about half an inch to go. The saw is a little duller than it should be. Just about through. There we go. We are through. That's some thick wood.
Yeah. Dogs can play with it.
Now, as you can see, there's a OSB board running at the front and the back of the cabinet, which the front one I had to take off so we can actually get the clips on the inside. But if you look down through the hole here, right there, I've got to cut through that as well.
Oh, right there. Okay.
Yes. Did you think it was further down, honey?
I thought it was further down.
Okay, this should take no problem at all.
Can't see anything under there. There we go.
That zipped through it, no problem. OSB compared to acacia, massive difference.
Yeah.
So now I'll pull all the tape off, put all the tools away.
Would you like me to vacuum all the dust up for?
If you'd like, that would
Okay.
be wonderful, honey.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, we just gotta clean all this stuff up before I can start putting the oil on. The tung oil, spelled T-U-N-G.
Okay.
And what I've got is this tiny little bottle here that I got off Amazon.
And
That was like
cover-
$27. It's like,
Ooh.
but it's food safe, so
And I think we have to retreat it once in a while too.
I believe once a year you might have to. I'm not sure. I haven't gone that deeply down that
And
alley.
with the acacia, I think it's a lesser issue than with some of the other.
It all depends on what wood you're using, yeah. Trying to work with the Hero 9, but it was reading low battery and kept shutting off on me at like 57% battery. So I don't know. That's another story. Not my department. That's yours, Miriam.
I was just adjusting the camera because when you're talking and they're looking at the countertop, that's... Anyways, are you done?
I'm just the talent.
Yeah. I guess the videographer should take over control of these situations.